and having someone come into your life who you want to live the rest of your life with doesn't mean that it's going to be easy for you at all. Life still has tremendous difficulties that have to be overcome. And the difficulties don't come from God. He tests our faith, but the difficulties come from God's enemy, the devil. And he's the one that wants to try to ruin what God is doing. He comes as a thief and as a murderer. He comes as one that wants to destroy your life. And so he began doing that in my marriage. And after having 3 boys and seeing the pattern of what the devil could do in reaping havoc inside of the home, causing a lot of trouble, not really knowing how to be a good parent. Neither one of us, my wife or I, really understood the principles that were really necessary to raise a family and be very loving. I found myself being anything but a really good father or even a good husband. And so what happened is we look at the shell again. The upper part of the shell, this where it's all broken, is what happened to my marriage. You see, the lower part was my upbringing. I lived in a shattered home. But then in my marriage, I realized that my marriage became broken. Having many financial problems, going through many struggles in my relationship with my wife, life just was turned upside down. God turns life right side up. And so my wife and I ended up being separated from each other. And it ended up, even though I tried very, very much to renew our marriage, to make reconciliation, it wasn't going to happen. I'd done so much damage. I accept that responsibility. It was me that did so much damage. And so just recently I've had to file for a divorce. And now I know what it's like for so many people to have to go through that life, having lost the one that they wanted to love for the rest of their life. And so, but I say that because of this. When I turned this shell around, I realized in the last 4 years since my marriage started going down and I left home, God started showing me some things in the last 4 years to really show me what it was that He was doing with my life, and what it is that He wanted me to see. You see, if you look at this shell from this side, it looks like an ice cream cone, doesn't it? And though I was looking at life like that, the shattered home life and the broken marriage, God was looking at my life like an ice cream cone. God had a plan for my life. And even though it meant my marriage being dissolved, God wanted me to see that what He was doing in my life was far greater than anything I ever knew, that I could ever imagine. And so when I look in His Word, and I want to share with you what He had to say in Philippians. This is what Paul said: I thank my God in all my remembrance of you, always in every prayer of mine for you all, making my prayer with joy because of your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. And I am sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ. It is right for me to feel this way about you all, because I hold you in my heart, for you are all partakers with me of grace. What I've come to realize, what God wanted to really show me from his perspective, is that he has made me a partner with him. Having received Jesus Christ, there was no other possible way to be able to explain what God wanted to do when a person receives Christ, but that he brings us into partnership with him. And then secondly, he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. That's his preparation. God is preparing me to be able to be with him forever. And, of course, to be able to stand before him unashamed. And then the last part, he's made me a partaker with him in his grace. So I'm a partner with him, I'm in preparation, and I am a partaker of God's grace. All because of what Jesus did for us when he went to the cross. Well, it doesn't all end there at all, because that's only the beginning. As we said, he who began a good work in you will complete it till the day of Jesus Christ. And so, looking back at this seashell, not looking at it so much being the shattered home life and the broken marriage, or even looking at it the way God wants me to see it, his work going on and on like a wonderful ice cream cone, I was beginning to see my life sort of like, somewhere in between, seeing what God is doing and also seeing my life the way that it was, a shattered home and a broken marriage. But all the time, God was wanting me to see it from his perspective. And so he began to do something in my life, which is what I want to share with you in the second part of this presentation of my testimony to you. So I'm going to bid you have a wonderful day. The Lord's blessing to you. And I will conclude this message on the next time we're together. God bless you all.